Hey y'all, this is Will Dog. Um, just got home. I was kind of had a long day. It's a good day, but I definitely I'm happy and grateful to be a vampire, especially right now with the I'm using vampire energy to heal my body and communicate with spiritual stuff, and I am also uh, allowing myself to be numb so I don't have that. So basically, my feelings are they're still there, but they're like suppressed. And the benefit of that is that my brain can heal basically without the memories that may or may not. Let me just say that like there's a few times today where it's just like, why? Like there are situations where I'm just like, why? But I'm like, I'm an adult, and but I'm still growing and developing and learning as well. So during those times, it's a good learning experience for myself, and it's not easy when there are when there's a lot of alpha energy, and as a leader and as a part of the team, the team of people. My only thing that I would desire is just more um, communication so that better teamwork. The reason why I say that is that I love everybody. I really do. Maybe not all in the same way, but there's that. I make sure when I'm working with people, or when I'm friends with people, or when I friendly towards people. I make sure it's like it's very easy to have that bond established for me because I've trained myself, and it makes life so much easier when you love people. Communication is so much more efficient, and I don't like seeing people not working together properly. It's like when you see like it's just I realize everybody's different, and um, some of my teachings from my grandfather, who was a leader in the military. He was the highest rank of enlisted that you could be at the time, and we share a commonality. He was telling me last night how he was demonstrating by talking to me like I was the person he was trying to cooperate with. He was demonstrating how he would handle situations, and me and him are very similar. We have different, but we're different. And I can see it. Me and my grandfather, and how we would approach things. And like I realize that the world's not perfect, and you may see a situation, but it may not be that. Like usually, situations require a lot more information to make accurate renditions of what's going on, and to be able to understand. And I'm still developing and growing as a leader. And I realize that people have bad days, and I do too. But it still hurts. It still hurts me to see. I'm not sure what the right word is, but like the more that I decompress and then I'm like reanalyzing things, like how you see things, but like you don't really. You need time to understand or try to, have a clear mind to reevaluate what you saw, or things that you see. It's one of those situations, like, um, and I do care, but I realize that my um, you know, I realize that it's not. Let me say this. I was gonna say it's not my place to interact or to try to, you know, get involved, but at the same time, I realize it's hard for me. It's something I'm learning. I'm actively learning. It's part of the new lifestyle that I have adopted within the last few days. The new mindset, and that is trusting, in a different way, what people who I trust and who I love are doing, when it comes to, um, handling situations. The thing is, though, when I see a situation and I can read it, and what my body tells me is that how it is being, how things are playing out or is incorrect. Um, it doesn't bother me. It, it's like, that's not the correct word, but it's like I feel like I need to step up and, like, learn. Maybe not do something at that time, but maybe learn from the situation or learn from my feelings. And that I think that's the right thing, and that's part of my new mindset. Um, Part of my older mindset would have probably had regrets. Be like, man, or I would have maybe a little bit of resentment, you know, towards what is being done, and the how is being handled or whatever. But I'm grateful that with my new mindset that's not the case. I don't have resentment, and I don't have, kind of those bad feelings. I just want to learn, um, and not so much, not at all, specifically to teach the people involved, but to, um, just have a better understanding of how things are playing out. Um, and the desire to understand is very different than the desire to intervene, and that is part of my new mindset. Why would I want to understand? Why would I even care when it comes to this? I think that's a good question to ask myself. And part of what my grandfather told me last night, I briefly described, um, how my place as a leader. I'm a vampire. I'm an alpha male, and I have a lot of experience um, with leadership. There's still so much more I realize I need to work on. But um, my grandfather, I was saying something about my experience with men, my experience with women, as far as communication and being part of a team. And my grandfather stopped me as I was talking. He said, "You're. I forget. I'm not sure if this is the right word, but you're an arbiter, someone who, um, like the guy who's in between um, when there's a when things are going on, like the in between guy who's kind of neutral, who is neutral, who's an outsider." And I didn't say anything, but then I was like, yeah, yeah, that sounds, you know, I was hesitant, or I am now hesitant to say that, but at the time, with my grandfather, I said, yeah, yeah. But I'm hesitant now to say it because my feelings. Um, I'm not sure why I'm hesitant to say that. Because I don't feel like that's. Uh, it may be accurate. There might be a better word for my I don't know, for my place, should I say, or how I feel as a person. But I don't know, still trying to decompress, figure it out, and figure things out for myself and for others. And I'm grateful that with my new mindset, it's much easier to communicate with people. Um, I'm very different, and I can tell, like, there are a few times today where I even heard people vocalize, like the difference in me. And it's how do I say this? It's enjoyable to be in familiar situations, but to act differently, to have a different behavior, to have different feelings, and to learn that about myself. It has been a pleasure these last few days, and my life is so much easier and better in certain areas that I know um, would have I would have had so much more difficulty and struggle. For instance, you know, when I get off work, you know, the 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 efficiency and speed and control of uh, and understanding of my body in regards to being able to recover and know what to work on when I sit down, and to feel my body and to understand and just have a greater control of my. It's like I know that like, oh, I just know I need to fix this and this within me, and to um, will my body to to relax and to recover, and the speed of that effect. And I could feel the result of having a clearer mind in just a matter of minutes, and it's incredible. And the contrast, the thing that I have to compare it to, is my older mindset that I had a week ago. My body has changed. my mind has changed, and I'm like, thank God. Yeah, it's a blessing, and paired with, I'm not sure, where to draw the line in separation, as far as what I'm describing right now, the change in mindset, where to draw the line between uh, my body, my body change, and my vampire self. Like, I don't know where to draw the line there, but the change in the pairing of my abilities as a vampire is just amazing. Like, um, I'm able to just lay down and instantly start healing at a faster rate. Um, it's incredible. And as you can tell, as I've been talking, my skin's all glowy, glowy. It's just like I feel good, and I know that right now it's like I'm not using a lot of vampire energy. It's like my body's. Um, I have a preference of how I like to recover, and it's not like if like my vampire energy was like an oven, and it's like with like different measurements of heat. You turn up the heat, turn down the heat. It's like my vampire energy is like at like a 4 or 5 or something like that, maybe somewhere around there. Not too. It's not high. Like, I realize if I start turning it up, uh, that it's not as enjoyable. It starts to, for me, it starts to. It's like right now, as much energy as I'm using, I'm recovering more. If that makes sense. So if I turn up the heat, so to speak, this may not be accurate for, I'm gonna talk about magical shit, right? But as I turn up the heat, it's like I'm expending unnecessary energy. So, just as a side note, I think that's interesting. And, this, as I've said before in these videos, it's the message to spread positive awareness of nice vampires and of myself, and to bridge communication between all people. Because communication is critical, it's important, it's key. So, I'm going to go ahead and get going. I'm going to play a video game and might record some more videos later. We'll see. I appreciate you all for watching. Bye.